For our next hotel review for Hotel Designs, we're in Shoreditch, where creative minds come together, the original home of the hipster. But these days, this East End London neighbourhood has evolved and matured into a cool and stylish hospitality scene. But it hasn't lost its pulse. The hotel that was originally sheltered inside this building was Ace Hotel London. After closing temporarily over the pandemic, it wasn't long before in 2020 Ace Hotels announced its permanent departure. Cue the arrival of Law Group. They wanted to transform the iconic property on Shoreditch High Street into a statement of style to ultimately and sensitively reflect the transformed area and its culture. The 258-room hotel has just opened, giving Londoners and travellers alike something new and artistic to look forward to. We've been given the keys to take a look inside, but in addition to that, I'm also here to interview Jacu Strauss, the designer of 100 Shoreditch, who's also the creative director of Law Group. One Hundred Shoreditch has opened just a few days ago. What's been the sort of response from the locals since it's opened?
It's been amazing. It was very hard to predict exactly how people were going to feel about the change that we've made here. But so far it's been great. I think what we've done is really nice and people have responded to it. The hotel has grown up. I think hotels are always organic. They go through different life cycles and it was the right time to make this a more grown-up hotel.
What's interesting to me is that it still hasn't lost the energy, Shoreditch, and I don't think this hotel has either, but how did you ensure that wasn't lost throughout the process?
I think it was really good for me to do this project not knowing that much about this neighbourhood because I had to learn all of it and I read some amazing things. It was really inspiring. So one half of me had like a fresh set of eyes on a new neighbourhood. We looked at the heritage of the area, which is so rich and so fascinating. And it really makes sense why this area is so vibrant and so energetic. It's always been here. And the hotel itself is almost like a mini city. It's 258 bedrooms, loads of food and beverage outlets. And each area comes with a different energy. And some of it we wanted to retain from what was before. And some of it had to change a little bit to reflect that kind of grown-up nature of the neighbourhood now and the hotel. It's finding that balance.
I just want to talk about Law Group, really, and your responsibility, because you're not only the interior designer, you're the creative director. So really, you're not an interior designer working with a client, you're part of the whole process.
It's a very important aspect of my job, and it's something that I really love doing. It gives us control over those changes that we really believe in and want to make. We always say that we're custodians of these hotels. It's not exclusively ours, you know, it's part of the community. So if there's a story or a narrative that people really love to listen to and maybe repeat, that's the magic of hotels. So for this particular project, it was about creating a more comfortable hotel. That connection is really, really special. So if you do it right and you set out the foundations correctly, it's just over to the user to start making it their own. It's important to delight people, you know, and it's nice to be delighted. So, you know, there will always be a few surprises for when you walk into a room or two with our hotels.
There's no doubt about it, Jacu has a hands-on approach when it comes to designing hotels. So when the opportunity presented itself for me to see the hotel through his eyes, I couldn't turn that down. 258 rooms. Yeah. You painted a piece of art in each one of them. Do you regret that decision now?
I did the originals and we had some additions made of them, but they're all hand painted. But no, I couldn't quite do 258, but they're all hand painted, so each room really gets a unique artwork. We have such a lovely panoramic view from this hotel that it just made sense to add these windows, and it becomes a really personal, private little sanctuary. It's not a massive intervention square footage wise, but it just adds this little moment that
simple yet
really needed it.
Yeah, for sure. You've said that the beds are like marshmallows, giant marshmallows. It was the original bed in the old hotel.
So these are some of the things that remained from the previous scheme, but we wanted to reuse that. The bed is the most important thing, after all. But I also quite like that contrast. I mean, it's something I always love doing, is that yin and yang, rough and smooth, old and new. It celebrates that diversity that we have in the neighborhood and in this hotel, is that you can have it all. You know, you want calmness in a room, but if you want a bit of energy, go down to the lobby bar and it's all there for you, or the rooftop, or seat library, or the restaurant. You know, you've got loads of options here. But I think a room should be tranquil. It should be that sanctuary.
This hotel is about simplicity, sustainability, and utilising what was here before. In doing so, 100 Shoreditch reflects the raw creativity of the neighbourhood. But what I'm really impressed with is the design team's ability to add a touch of maturity to a neighbourhood that is growing up around it.